And this is obviously a big fight. I mean, fighting on Dustin Poirier's retirement card, Max Holloway. Were you excited when they brought you this one?
Most definitely. I got the text from Hunter. I was in Hawaii. He's like, I'm putting you on the BMF main card against Pitbull. So I got super pumped up, got back home, got to training camp, and here we are.
Yeah. Max seems like, he says we need to get one for Hawaii this week with like Yancey losing to Dustin too. He mentioned like an old football game as well. Do you feel
Yeah.
like you need to do your part as well here?
Yeah. And then we also, we didn't have our fair share of luck in Abu Dhabi. So we get to do it again this weekend in New Orleans. And yeah, definitely we're going to get one for Hawaii.
Yeah, Pitbull being in the UFC was talked about for so long. I don't know how much you ever thought about him, maybe as a potential opponent. But when he did sign, was this a fight that you thought maybe could be in your future?
For sure. Actually, before he even signed, there's talks about him signing, and I texted the UFC right away. I was like, I want this fight, and he got the Yair fight. I got the Woodson fight, and eventually it played out the way it did because we're fighting this weekend. So, Pitbull's been a guy I've watched for a long time, probably for over a decade. I've been a fan of his. I love his fighting style. One of the best to ever do it. Fell short in his debut, but take nothing away. I still believe he's one of the best featherweights in the world. Definitely, in my opinion, top five. So this is a big fight for me, and I mean, it's a fight, right? It's a fight. So let's
Yeah.
go.
And I mean, I think a lot of fans would have loved to see him be here 5 years ago or something like that. But when you watch him, you said you've been a fan forever. Do you see a guy who's maybe slightly away from the top form we saw him in Bellator, or do you still see all those same attributes?
I mean, it's all experience. Yes, age will eventually catch up to you, but you can't take that mindset going into a fight. I truly believe he's still. I mean, seen guys win titles at 40 years old. Like I'm sure he takes care of his body, he trains hard, he eats well, sleeps well. Those are all the little things that you got to do to take into consideration the longevity of your career. So I'm prepared for the best version of Pitbull, the most experienced version yet, and I'm sure he's eager to get a win, and so am I. So it's going to be a great fight.
Yeah, he said the big mistake he made against Yair was he was just too calm, like, and he didn't really get out of that first gear. Do you feel like we're gonna see a more aggressive version of him than last time?
I mean, I'd like to correct. I don't think being calm's a mistake. I think being calm's a dangerous weapon. You gotta know how to utilize it and utilize your timing. And he's been in a lot of 5 round fights, and then fighting Yair. I mean, he's got to give Yair some credit too. Yair's a dangerous, ferocious striker. Throws a lot of volume, a lot of dynamic strikes from all angles, kicks, spinning kicks, front flips, back flips, whatever. Yair will attack, and just wasn't the best matchup. So if he wants to change his style, it doesn't matter. We're prepared.
And a win over him, you said you still feel he's top five. So where do you think that puts you in this division going forward?
Well, I mean, he doesn't have a number next to his name. That's just where I would place him. Where it puts me going forward doesn't really honestly matter. I'm just here to continue my win streak and get another W on Saturday. And I don't really have any names in mind, but there's a lot of big fights, in the division. Featherweight division's wide open right now, and yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and last thing, I'm sure you've heard this one before. He said he's going to be the first one to finish you.
Yes.
How do you see yourself winning?
Yeah, 20 guys said that. 20 guys in the UFC have said that. And so, yeah, that's not a new thing for me to hear. And how do I see myself winning is another spectacular finish by knockout.
Dan, right over here. When Patricio was in here earlier, he mentioned that he expects this fight to get pretty ugly, expects basically a bloodbath, a big fight on the feet. Is that kind of what you expect coming into this fight too?
I mean, that's what people like to hear, right? Fans like to hear that. I'm prepared if that happens. I mean, look at me. I got black eyes. I get cuts. I'm sure he does too. But I expect a clean kill from my end. Again, I'm prepared anywhere the fight goes, on the feet, on the ground, in the wrestling, in the clinch. I'm prepared to go 15 minutes hard, and if I need to, right? But I will be looking for the finish, and I'm sure he will be too. So, yeah, that's fireworks written all over it.
And obviously, Pitbull had mentioned that last fight he said he was too calm. So with that tape, do you study that tape much, or do you kind of just have to look at different fights? Do you expect a different version of him than what we saw in his debut?
I study all of his fights. I study tendencies. I don't really like look at specific fights. Yair and I are completely different fighters, completely different body types. So, there's a lot of good fights you can go back and watch in the history books. I've watched his highlight reels. Um, if you want to scare yourself at night, go watch a Patricio Pitbull highlight reel. He's got a lot of nasty finishes, and I just can't wait for the challenge. It's gonna really elevate my game, and I can't wait to step up.
Your team at XC is notorious for putting together some of the best training camps and preparing very well to defeat different styles. What was this training camp like? Did you have to change much to get ready for Patricio, or is this just another fight for you?
I look at it as a whole year. We've been constantly evolving the last 3, 4, 5 camps. We've slowly, we've gotten a lot smarter with their training, a lot more drilling, a lot more attention to detail. And, I feel like I've gotten light years better in the last 2 years. I've shown little glimpses of it, but, for myself, it's all about constant improvement and finding little tiny ways to get better. Camp, if you want to put that lingo, camp, as far as the last 8 weeks, it was good days, bad days, ugly days, okay days. That's life. That's camp. You battle adversity in and out of the gym, and but I'm here today, and I'm ready to show up on Saturday.
What's up, Dan? Dan, 50K, Ige, love it, man. You fought Diego on 4 hours' notice. Do you think that'll ever happen again in the UFC? Ever?
I'm sure there's people that would do it, but just the way it played out, the stars had to literally align perfectly. I was in the right place at the right time. I lived 15 minutes down the road. My medicals were done. I got the governor's approval. It just worked out. So will it ever be done again? I don't know. I doubt it. Something could happen day of, but just the way that played out, International Fight Week, it was they're not going to do that for someone on the Apex. They're just going to move the card, or move the fight. But the fact, a lot of fights fell out, and they had to do something, right? So it just worked out perfectly in my favor. Not the decision, but the way it all played out and how I got the fight. I don't know if it'll ever happen again.
Yeah, I just remember being in front of TV and then breaking the news, and I was like, man, this is absolutely incredible. It was just amazing, man. What do you think makes you such a tough outing for any opponent that you face, man? You've never been finished, you know what I'm saying? And people, like you said, keep saying, hey, I'm gonna finish this guy. What do you think just makes you such a tough outing for these guys?
I got a granite head. I don't know. I think it's just my mindset, my resilience. I'm willing to walk through the fire, just because I've been there before, my faith in God, and I've been knocked down so many times in life, not just in fighting, but like in life. And just continue to persevere, move forward, and have faith in God. And my faith's only got stronger and stronger and stronger. So if anything, every fight goes on, I'm going to be even harder to finish. And that's why I doubt Patricio will finish me Saturday.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Dan, over here, you mentioned you have a granite head. This card has Marvin Vettori, you, and Max Holloway, 3 of some of the best chins in UFC history. Do you believe chins can be trained, or is it more of a natural thing?
I don't really know, because I've been rocked. Like, let's say that I've been rocked. I've been dropped. I've been kicked down, but I've never accepted quitting. You think about it, you're like, oh, I could just turn around and go to sleep right now. Maybe it's a survival instinct. I have no idea. I'm not a scientist. I just know that this is a fight and anything can happen, and I'm prepared for the worst, but I expect the best.
Thank you, Dan. Best of luck.
Yeah. Just want your thoughts on the main event. How do you think the main event is going to play out between Max and Dustin?
I know we're in Louisiana, but I got Max Holloway winning this one. I love both guys. Dustin Poirier is a legend, and if he wins, if he loses, it's not going to change anything about him as a man, as a person. He's done so much for the sport. He does a lot of good for the community. He gives back. He's got his foundation. He's going to do very well in life. But, you know, just as a fight itself, I mean, Dustin's got 2 wins over Max. I was there at all of them. I was actually training with Max when he got ready for the first fight, when he got his debut call at 4-0. And he fought Dustin Poirier and got triangle armbar there. And then I saw his fight in Atlanta. And I think he was still a little kind of too small. Not too small, but just didn't fill into the 55 weight class yet. It kind of got that came upon fast. But the way he looked against Gagey at 155, just filled out, put on a lot of muscle, looked great. And I always thought he was huge for featherweight. And right now he just looks good. He looks healthy. He's got a good mindset. So does, I mean, Dustin looks incredible too. And may the best man win.